working? Great.
Sonakshi, can you see me clearly?
Yes, I can. Could you see me? Am I
Yes, it's
audible?
perfect. Yes, perfect.
Okay. Okay, let's begin today's session without much wait. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sonakshi Arora Bhutani. I am the founder of SiteKnit, and I am a parenting coach and a counseling psychologist. We are back again with our third session of Power of Parenting. This is Miss Kanika Kumar. She is an experienced special educator and the founder of Minds That Matter. Today, we are going to be talking about resilient parents. So, let's just get to the point and discuss what is resilience in parents.
Okay, so I'd like to start by saying that resilience is actually the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. Basically, in a simple language, we can say that it's bouncing back from a tough situation, which could be a failure, a rejection, a defeat, anything. And I'd like to point out that there's a difference between resilience and a mental setback. Resilience is our ability to bounce back from a setback, whereas mental toughness is what gives us the strength to prevent the setback in the first place.
Yeah, true.
And like we say that parenting does not come with a handbook. Parenting comes with its own set of challenges, and every day poses a new challenge for any parent, be it parents of young children, of young adults, of of children with special needs, of neurotypical children. If you are a parent, you are being thrown into a whole soup of difficulties.
Challenge. Yeah, that's
A
true.
lot of challenges, and to be able to deal with any of those challenges, one needs to be resilient. And
Yeah,
resilience is
that's true.
actually a skill that can be built over time, it can be
Yeah.
developed over time.
Yeah. Like we said, it's something that you nurture in yourself. It's something that
Right.
requires intention, practice, and you look forward to doing it. It requires a lot of time and effort from your end, but it's something
Right.
that you grow on rather than just get it in one day. True.
And it's very important for survival, because we can't really give up whenever we face a tough situation, and just say that okay, I cannot handle it. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
To be able to move on, we need to be able to deal with the situation and be able to bounce back and come back stronger, which is why
Yeah.
it's really important to be resilient. So let's talk about the impact of resilience, why it is really important.
Kanika, I like how you said that, all parents experience stress from time to time, also in different ways for each one because everyone's unique. Their parenting style is different,
Right.
their set of children are different with their needs. Understanding them is also a challenge. Then, catering to those needs, it's a long journey. So, parental resilience is a process that all parents need in order to effectively manage
Right.
their stress, also to build on to positive relationships with their child as well as their partners and family, also to grow and develop as individuals for their betterment, for their
Right.
progressiveness. Like you said, it's actually important to have resilience so that one is able to manage stress, also to provide a safe, comfortable, loving, and a healthy environment that children are in. That's,
Mhm.
I think, if you have resilience, if you have the ability to look at your challenges, understand them, accept them, and then look for strategies to deal with them, you are
Right.
actually turning into a person who's looking for problem solving skills, looking for flexibility, looking for growth rather than somebody who's just there whining about the situation, or
Right.
making things negative around you, or entangling the ties in a way that it cannot be open. So
Right.
having resilience in your life as a parent impacts you, like I said, to create a positive, healthy environment for your child, also for you to build onto your self-esteem. Once you feel that you're able to cope up with challenges or you're able to handle difficult situations, what happens is you start thinking positive about yourself. Oh, I can do that, I can do this. It builds into your confidence, your efficacy, your ability to do things. Also,
Right, right,
you're able to, like I said, build positive relationships with your child, with your partner, with the family. You, when you have resilience, you showcase those skills to people around you, so you in a way are modeling resilience. And that's what children need to learn
right,
in this scenario. Role modeling for your children is the best thing that you can do, and that's, I think, one of the most practical ways to teach them something or to transfer family values. I think that's something that you can do by role modeling. So you are
right.
also, with resilience, you're also role modeling empathy, connections, and you're working on understanding your emotions, and seeing what you feel, how you feel in different scenarios for different circumstances. You identify those emotions, and then you are able to look at how can you regulate these emotions, how can you work around these emotions to make yourself feel better and be able to accept and grow. So
Right.
like I said, it's something, like you said initially, it's a skill that you develop. It's something that works in you with time and with effort. So you start seeing the impact of resilience once you start practicing it for a period of time. It will not come to you in a day. It's not something you sleep with thinking about it, and in the morning it will come to you. It
Right.
requires a lot of intention and practice from your end to be actually be able to become more brave and strong to deal with these adversities or uncertainties of life.
Right, right. Especially given today's scenario wherein the
Oh,
situation
yeah,
is so unpredictable. And I'm sure no
absolutely.
matter how much we prepare for a given situation, it doesn't always go the way we planned or the
Oh,
way we want it to go.
yeah,
So it's
absolutely.
always best to be prepared for the worst case scenario and to have the skills required to deal with the unexpected circumstances, because that's what actually shows how resilient we are. And like you very rightly mentioned, that we are role models for our children. So
Absolutely.
resilient parents would have resilient children because that's what they have been modeling for their children. And while parents put in the efforts to build resilience within themselves, they make the similar efforts to ensure that their children
Yeah,
build resilience,
yeah.
that their
And
children
I think,
are optimistic like them, they have high self-esteem, they have
oh,
confidence,
yes,
they have the willingness to look at situations in a manner that, okay, I think we can look at it in a way that I can come up with a solution rather
absolutely.
than giving up.
Yeah, so like I said initially, resilience gives you empathy. It gives you a situation wherein you look at different perspectives. One way to boost resilience is, giving a chance to the other side, thinking about different angles from different perspectives. Like you said, how you see from your end could be one thing, but how you see it from a child's end also builds on to your resilience as a parent, also as an individual.
Right,
uh, Along with this, I feel um, everybody has some characteristics, have some strengths that are unique about them,
hmm,
sometimes we call it characteristics, sometimes we call it personality traits. We've got 24 characteristics, character traits. We've got inner strengths and resources that we have in ourselves as an individual. For somebody it could be faith, flexibility, humor, or it could be their organizational skills. So everybody has something different for themselves. These qualities or these inner strengths could act as the supporters for parents to overcome these situations of stress or these challenges. These
right,
can become their strategies or tools or positive characteristics for them to overcome a
right.
difficult situation, and this could help them to become more resilient in life.
True, true. I agree.
Like we say, there are four components of resilience if we talk about it from a holistic view. Just to summarize all that we've spoken about, there is connection, whether you are developing a bond between your child and yourself, or within yourself with your partner, family, or when you're also seeking for help from somebody.
Right,
That's
right.
also one aspect of resilience. One more component that I can talk about is well-being for yourself. When you look at things and how to cope with things, that's your resilience. How you look
Hmm.
after yourself while looking after things around you. Also, when you look at, like we said, develop positive thinking. You look for goal oriented things.
Right.
um, uh, look for things which gives you a positive outcome, or you look at problem solving. All of these things are healthy thinking. Also look for meaning, whether it's about who you are, what do you do, self awareness. These
Right.
four components sort of help you build your resilience as an individual, as a parent. If we can now when we've discussed what is resilience, why is it important, what are the impact it has, I also want us to talk about what are the different ways that an individual, or what are the different ways that a parent can build onto their resilience as a parent, as an individual, also sort of help people around them develop that skill.
So I think I would say that there are the ways are quite simple. We just need to be willing to make that effort. So there's this strategy called STOP, STOP, wherein S means stop whatever you're doing, take a few deep breaths, observe what is going around you, and then proceed with how you
Yeah.
would want to, whatever action you would want to take. So to be able to do that, it's really important, like you said, that to have a positive um, thinking. Think
Yeah.
positively, be aware of what is happening in your surrounding, of your own thoughts. What are the positive thoughts, what are the negative thoughts, what are the possible challenges this situation is posing, how, what are the different ways that I can handle this situation. Look at different problem solving ways. Try
Yeah.
to identify your resources that you have at hand. Now the resources could be the people that you could approach.
Hmm.
So, identifying whom you could approach for help is also really very important, because you don't
Absolutely.
always have to do everything alone. It's
Yeah.
okay to seek for help, and knowing when you can ask for help is
Yeah.
also a very important part of building
Important.
resilience.
Yeah. Also, you need
Then,
to, like you said, building your seek help support group, or looking out for your group. It could be anyone. It could also be like, as a parent, it could be your other partner also, who can
right,
give you guidance, or you can talk to about, look, or you can look solutions for with this person. It could be a friend, it could be family. Also, it's
right,
important to recognize there are times wherein people who know you or are around you are not the best people to give you like a neutral advice or guidance when it comes to your well-being, or what is right for you or
right,
what is incorrect for you. So you can always identify these set of specialists who can help you build onto these things,
right,
whether
right,
it's a psychologist, whether it's a therapist, different kinds of therapists, play therapists who can identify your needs, or you need a family support group at that point of time. So be
right.
open to look for that kind of help. uh yes, go on, Kanika.
Yeah, so while you were mentioning about the support group, so I feel it's really important to nurture relationships in our life.
Yeah.
So for parents, it could be having relationships with other parents in the community,
Mm.
with their friends, with their co-workers in the workplace, because different kind of relationships bring in different elements, and we learn
Yes,
different skills from everyone around us. And
absolutely. Yes.
each person has a different kind of support to offer to us.
Yeah.
Then we can build acceptance for people,
Very
acceptance for
important.
situations. Like for
Mm.
example, when you as parents, you get a lot of situations wherein you might get complaints about your child. So
Yeah.
accepting that there might be something that the child is doing, but there are ways to deal with it instead
Deal
of
with it.
being in denial. Or maybe let's say the child has performed really badly on a test. It's okay. We need to
Yeah.
look at ways of how we can help our child improve the score, rather than
Yeah.
saying, rather than thinking that my child will not be able to do it, or giving up, or just making a passing a conclusion that this is how it's going to be. So we just need to be really flexible in our thinking, try to expand our horizons, think of different solutions, how we can improve the given situation, be it the situation concerning the parent himself or
Yeah.
herself, or related to the child.
Also, Kanika, like you're mentioning that, there are times wherein we are not in the moment, or we are not looking at things in the present. That's one thinking, staying present. For example, if tomorrow your child has got a function and you have to go attend it, it's an annual event of the school where the child is performing, or there is some other place where your child is showcasing or presenting their skills. You as a parent tend to think about negative things or positive things, or what would happen or what can
Right,
happen,
right,
rather than being in the moment and enjoying what your child is doing up there. It's all right to make mistakes. It's things happen
right,
everywhere in every situation, but how you accept it in present and continue uh, to balance your emotions, keep a calm attitude, take care of yourself in those times, is what is important, is what helps you build your
right.
resilience. Be present, be connected, like you said. uh, just to add on here, it's also important for you as a parent to be aware about yourself. Check in with yourself about how you're feeling, what you're doing, what are your goals, not just for yourself
Mhm.
but for people around you also. What is the vision that you have for your children? How
Right,
are you coping with it, or what are your inputs for it? How are you contributing in their growth? All of these things will make you feel better. It will make you feel um, that you're working in a positive aspect, or will give you a time for reflection about, is there
right.
anything that you're doing wrong, or is there anything that you want to build upon, or you want to enhance.
And
Also, I
a very good way to reflect on it is maybe to look at how your day was. Like we
Yeah.
often ask our children, how was your day? What did you do? So you could do it with your partner.
Yeah.
A husband could ask his wife, or the wife could ask the husband, or you could maintain a journal wherein
Yeah,
you
the
could
very
write about
important.
what went well during the day, what did not go so well, how did you
Yeah.
feel, what is it that you could have changed, or how could you have reacted differently, things like
Yeah.
that. Because that those kinds of thoughts, they give us an opportunity to reflect on our entire day and how we could have improved things.
Absolutely. Also, just to add on, I read it somewhere that it's a great activity for parents to do, to maintain a parenting journal. This is not something that you're talking about, it's something that talks about your journey and does not give you solutions, or it's not a handbook for you that you can refer to when you face a similar situation like that. But it's just a documentation of how you have grown as an individual, or what
Right.
challenges you faced, how was your stressful journey and experience, then what are the things that you used to do,
Mhm.
what are the things that you did, or you used around yourself as resource that we're talking about, to make it better, or
Right.
to prevent it from happening, or to be prepared for the future. Also, what was the outcome of it? It gives you like a journey feel of where you were and where you've come, and how did you manage that entire journey, what helped you to cope up with it. Through this, you can
Right.
identify like a mini toolbox or strategies for you, which could be how to deal with
Mhm.
challenging situations. Suppose if my child is throwing a tantrum, how do I deal with it? You need to have things, or there's a lot going on with my workplace and back at home, where you're working from home and
Right.
working for home. So what is that one activity that you do that makes you feel better? Whether it's taking a walk, you identify
Mhm.
listening to music is my strategy in that toolbox that helps me feel better. Or
Right.
once I'm in a bad mood, I think I like to crush up a little paper and throw it off, or maintain that in a journal. So all these things could go on your toolbox that can help you
Right.
build your resilience. Also, you can use it for different skills that you need in your life, for problem solving, for communicating. Like we said last time, think about responding to a situation than to react.
Right.
This toolbox can also make you feel calm about how you're feeling, how to regulate your emotions, or
Mhm.
how to just think about presenting a point to somebody.
Right.
Also, like we are talking, I think two very, very practical, extremely practical things that an adult can do to increase their parenting resiliency is a not to be afraid of asking for help. That's
Right.
extremely important. Be open. If you are unable to do it, it's all right to call for people and say, help me with this, or let me do this, or
Right. Right.
I want you to guide me a little, whatever it be. Do not be afraid of uh, calling out to somebody and saying that, I need to talk or whatever. Look for whatever help you can, like we discussed initially. Second is, like we said in our first session, and we keep saying always and always,
Right.
Kanika also mentioned in the beginning, that your journey of parenthood or parenting, there is no set defined handbook for it. There is nothing that comes to you in hand saying, if this happens, do this, or in this is the way that you teach values to your child, or this is the way that you deal with your children, or this is the upbringing that you could do. As and when you read more about uh, their developmental milestones, or how to raise children,
Mhm.
or what is it that they need, the more you're aware of these things, the more you read, the more knowledge you acquire, you respond better to those situations.
Right.
You develop on your resilience through these things, I feel.
So I think
Also,
the crux of the whole matter is that, as parents, we need to be aware about ourselves. That's where
yes.
it all starts. The more aware we are about ourselves, then we would know what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses, and then how to turn our weaknesses into our strengths. That's
Yeah.
how we turn our vulnerabilities into our resilient side.
Yeah. Also, like we said in the beginning, role model these things, and also set in some idols for you, somebody who you can look up to, or somebody who gives you the strength to reflect and identify these things in
Right.
yourself. That is also important, because that's, you role model it for somebody. I'm sure there's somebody who's role modeling it for you. So I think
Right.
that's a good chain of learning and growing. That's it for us to identify and look at. Also, uh, just to summarize this session for us, saying that resilience, uh, it's the core to have a lot of things flourishing in your life, whether it's positivity, it's engagement, it's relationship, meaning for yourself or what you're doing, your achievements, how to validate things around you. Resilience sort of facilitates all of these things to add
Right.
meaning for you to understand uh, how you can cope up with difficult
Mhm.
situations. What is it that you can do in times of needs, in time of need. Also, it is important for us, like we said initially, to reflect back post this session, thinking, what are the simple actions that an individual can take starting now to build onto their
Right.
resilience. It could be as simple as picking up the phone and making a call to somebody, saying that, catching up with somebody, building that connection, so that
Right.
you feel you're able to face difficulties or challenges. uh, there is not one challenge that is there as a parent for you. There will be multiple things that
Right.
you go through with your child, then with your partner, with your workspace, with finances, in the environment. There is no limit to it, but how
Right.
you deal with it or how you prepared for it is, what is your coping strategy for it is what matters.
Right.
So with this, I think we've discussed a lot about what is resilience,
Resilient parenting.
and parental resiliency. We've spoken about some very interesting ways of how to develop this skill over time in yourself, with the right intention, and with time and effort that you put in. It is, I feel, it's not something which is extraordinary. It is something which is extremely ordinary. It's something that anybody can
Right.
learn, and anybody can start using it for their growth and development, or make it a core value for uh, their relationship with their children and with themselves. Also, I feel that resilient people turn obstacles into opportunities. You know,
Right, right.
if you are facing a challenge and you have that mindset that I will come back, I will, you know, face this situation and cope up with it, you take it as an opportunity for you to look at things differently, for you to
Like
grow
there's
as an
this
individual.
very famous saying that when life gives you lemons, make lemonade.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's all about your perspective. If you think that you can handle it, you'll be able to handle it. You'll be able to come up with a solution. If you think that it's not going to be possible, then no matter how hard you try, you won't be able to succeed.
yeah, you'll keep
So
struggling and getting the ties entangled.
yes, right,
Tangled, you know,
right.
you won't be able to entangle it. So I think we are going to end this session today here.
And
And
please join us next Sunday. We'll be talking about socio-emotional regulation. Same time at 8 p.m. We'll be going live from PsychNet's page. Do join us.
also, please do share in your learnings or your takeaways from the session for us, to see whether it was effective for you or not. We're looking forward to hearing from you.
Thank
All
you.
right. See you. Until next time. Bye
Bye.
bye.